So you want to use a Stamina Warden, but what actually works? In this video, I'm going to show you just that. Hey guys, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. In this video, I'm going to show you my PvP Stamina Warden for the current patch. This is a 2H and sword and board build, and it has really good damage, but is rather tanky as well. So all in all, just right for PvP. I use this mainly in Battlegrounds, but this can work in Cyrodiil and in Imperial City if you wish, but I just have bad performance there. And for those people curious, I do play on PC EU, where I'm live most of the time. Before I jump into the build, there is a superstar on screen right now that kind of goes through what you need, but I want to break it down much of this format. Then do like, comment, and more importantly subscribe so you don't miss out on future content, and a big thanks to all the people who support on Patreon and help make these videos possible. As with the build though, what are we doing? Well, we're in Nord on this build, and Nord, High Elf, Dark Elf, Khajiit, whatever you want works. Personally though, a Nord or a Dark Elf are really good, and Orc is a good option as well. Nord gives us extra health and resistances, and it gives us ultimate generation and some stamina. But as I said, race isn't too massive, but if you wanted to min-max this, I would probably go Orc personally or Dark Elf, but Nord is not a bad option either. As with our attributes, we have 32 in health and 32 in stamina. When we get our minor toughness on, this gives us a health pool of 35,000 with stamina of 26,000 and 1300 stam regen without potions and buffs and stuff. So actually we have pretty solid sustain and good resources. As for our Munderstone, I'm using the Serpent, and for my food, I'm using Bewitched Sugar Skulls, health, magicka and stamina. This is pretty much the go-to food in PvP, but if you need more sustain, you can use Dubious Cameroon Throne, or you can use the gold version, which is really expensive. As for potions, I would use Tri-Stat potions because they give you just everything you need. Alternatively, you can use Essence for movability. You can get them on kind of loads of buffs such as health and stamina and knockback and movability, or you can get the Detect ones as well, which I use because they're good against Nightblades. As with the skills, this is a 2H and sword and board build for PvP, and I'm using Dizzy and Swing, Deep Fissure, Executioner, Rally, Bird of Prey, and Dawnbreaker of Smiting. On the back bar we have Ice Fortress, Green Lotus, Resolve and Vigour, Full Netch, and Living Trellis. We're using Healing Thicket as the ultimate for healing, but if you wish you can go Spell Wall from the Sword and Shield skill line. Just quickly while we're using these skills, Deep Fissure gives us Major Breach, which is more penetration. This is more damage, so this is a really good one, and it also helps us stam sustain. So this is why we use this skill here. Dizzy and Swing is your spammable. It snares people if they're CC immune, or it sets them off balance, which gets you a cheeky stun with a medium attack. We have Executioner to kill people, and Rally because it's healing and resources, so it's really good. Bird of Prey is a passive buff for just minor berserk, but we can use this for movement speed should we need to get around, and that's what I use this a lot for. Dawnbreaker is just big burst with a stun and a dot. Back bar, Ice Fortress is standard. Green Lotus gives us healing as we do damage, so light attack, heavy attack, plus our crit buffs, which is really nice. And more importantly, this heals other people nearby, and this procs the passive Nature's Gift, which gives us extra sustain. So that's why we're using Green Lotus, so we can get that free resource sustain, which is really, really helpful. We're using Resolve and Vigour for our heal over time, Bull Netch for just stam regen and a mini purge that we can spam for purging, and Living Trellis because this heals us if we take damage, or it's a burst heal if it sort of expires. This you can also chuck on somebody and spam cast this to give them a mini burst heal, so this can heal other people, which is quite useful. And Healing Thicket is just a heal over time for everybody in the area, plus a mini burst heal, so pretty solid. As with kind of the sets and what we're doing there, set wise it's pretty standard. We're using Novate 2H, Sharpened. This is just loads of damage, and it's got a mini burst proc which is helpful for free damage. We then have Rallying Cry in the back bar, so sword and shield, and I'm using poisons that drain resources, really helpful there. You can use double dot poisons if you wish in the front bar, but I did run out. It's up to you. We then use Balorg, and the Balorg ideally should be medium, but I don't have the right pieces. I'm then using Clever Alchemist with this and Rallying Cry. The idea is that Rallying Cry is active on the back bar, so when we switch to the Sword and Shield, our Rallying Cry is now fully active. when we get ourselves a heal with Rally, Vigor, the Ball Netch melee heal if you spam cast it and it crits, you can then proc this, and this gives you loads of damage and loads of crit resist, which makes you really tanky. You then switch to the front bar, which gives us the Vate 2H, which we can build this up quite easily as we use many stamina skills. And then we always have Clever Alchemist on, so this way, whatever bar we use a potion on, we get a big boost of damage, which helps our healing and our damage. So this is a really useful one to just always have on. With that said, you can change this to add Marken if you wish, but you would have to drop the Vate 2H or mess around with the build quite heavily, and it's a bit awkward. So if you are curious about how you can use the Marken ring, I would suggest looking at Malcolm from ESOPvPbuilds.com, and he has much more kind of on that and how it actually works. But all in all, this is a pretty solid build. This does work in Cyrodiil, this works in Imperial City, but I use this mainly in Battlegrounds, as I've said. For the champion points, what can you use here? Well, I've actually taken all mine out, but if you wanted to do this, you want to focus on single target damage and just direct damage. You want to have some defense, so things like Jeweler's Rebuff is quite nice. And so is an Ironclad is also quite helpful. As with the red ones, I always like Bastion just because you can damage magical users quite easily with shields, so this is helpful. You can then go into Survivor Spirit, I think it is, and Sustained Suffering is quite good. But I really like Pain's Refuge. This is really good because you get loads of damage mitigation as you're always being hit by dots and stuff and just negative effects. So this is a really good one to have. It's kind of a no-brainer. As for the rest, it is pretty much up to you. But good ones are things like Juggernaut, or you can also increase the CC immunity. That's not too useful. But if you play in kind of a laggy environment, then Slippery can be good because it can just get you out of trouble. And Unchained's not bad either. For the green ones, you generally want the speed for the horse, and you may want to get Rationer to save yourself some gold. You can also use things like Steve's Blessing to just help with movement speed, but that is pretty much it, guys. That is the build in a nutshell. As for kind of vampirism, should you be a vampire or not, I would personally say that's up to you. The benefits of vampirism is the Undeath passive, makes you really tanky at stage 3, so you will be really hard to kill. The issue is though that your sustain does suffer, so you will need to change some of the glyphs. And as you can see in the jewelry, we're using weapon damage already, regen and weapon damage. So you will need to drop one of those for some just stam recovery to fix that. But it can be really beneficial, especially in Cyrodiil, but not so much in no CP, as sustain is pretty tight as it is. But that is the build, sort of all you need to know really. If you get any questions, let me know. And if you do like this format, as I said, with the superstar at the front and all that good stuff, then do let me know. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap this video up here. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and I'm going to say a massive thank you to all the people on Patreon who do support me and help make these videos possible and gain early access. So if you want to support myself and get access to the videos early and all that good stuff, then details are down below. But as I said, I'm just going to catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care and bye.